Well, listen, man. I mean, I want to start this. I want to start big and hungry. I want to start the mother of all podcasts.
Ooh.
Yeah. With we have a problem. We need intro music.
We got a few problems.
We need intro music, bro.
We do. Did you play it? Oh, okay.
You just played it? I didn't like. I mean, I like it, but
you're weary on it.
Well, no. I wonder if there's something we can do that's more. Here's my buddy Nate McCabe gave me this. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, fucking, because I'm such a fucking man. I'm such a man lion.
Yeah.
I'm such a man puma, right? You know that? I'm a man puma. And so I wonder if, what would you be if you were, what's your spirit animal?
I suppose a dolphin?
Oh. Yeah, because you're smart and you're smooth as fuck. Not a hair on this kid. Not a hair on him. Thank you, Korean mother.
Yeah. Well, I was told I have dolphin-like facial features.
Well, they're
like I look
because you don't really have a face.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. You have a smooth. You have smooth. But you have high cheekbones and.
Yeah.
Are you Native American? I love when people do that.
I'll tell you this one time I'll never forget this. I was doing a radio station in Nashville, Tennessee. Callen, Jost, and I from SNL were doing a show together. And this guy is fucking floored that Callen's in his studio because he's a huge SNL fan. He goes, Callen, Jost, oh my God, it's so good to have you here, Callen. You went to Harvard, you worked for the Lampoon. Tell me about that. So Callen, of course, tells him about it. He goes, and then you were the head writer on SNL. Tell me about that. So he tells him about that. And he goes, and then you went from head writer to Weekend Update while still being the head writer. Tell me about that, Callen. And Callen tells me, he goes, and Steve, you're Mexican, right? I was like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is right? What the fuck is right? Hey.
So Jost and I, we were just dying laughing. And years later, even still, it's a running joke. You're Mexican, right?
Yeah.
Just flattery.
He Mexican.
Hey, dipshit, can you take this picture for me and him together?
Yeah.
It's like that's what it felt like.
Well, you reminded me of what the fuck was it? I thought you were going to say something like when people in LA, this is my impression of every single hot woman, girl.
Yeah.
Not woman usually. They're usually like, well, whatever you want to call it, but like they're young. And they're here to be actresses and models, mm-hmm. and they've been hot since they were God knows. They've just been dealing with male attention, and they could be blonde haired with freckles. Ask me what my nationality is.
What is your nationality?
I'm like a lot of things. Like I'm Scottish and but mainly Swedish and Native American. Always, and I'm like, I don't believe that. No, because my cheekbones, like my grandmother, is pure, pretty much pure.
And they always go up. They always go up 2 octaves.
Yeah. And
their whole life has been a football combine. Just anywhere they go, I'm just trying to get milk. I'm just trying to get to my car.
Exhausting.
Hey, can I open this for you? Hey, can I do that for you? Fuck off. I just want to live my life.
It's exhausting, right?
It's so funny how they always go up. Like any question you ask in LA, all of a sudden, like you're at a coffee shop, it's quiet. So like, what have you been studying? Anton Chekhov. Have you heard of him? 3 Sisters. It's like, why are you yelling? We're all in the industry.
Yeah, I get it. You're an artist. What's funny about that is like those women will start out that way because they have a lot of power.
Right.
We talk a lot about power. You go to a strip club with one of those women that, those big time strippers. Yeah. They have more power. Men are spending their house payments just to talk to them. And then when
Lisa Ann comes to town,
just you see women at the gym in LA or just at Whole Foods that will stop your heart.
Yep.
And they know it, and they go through the first 20. They're in their 20s and most of their 30s.
Right.
They're just undeniable, and they get everything because of their bone structure.
But
okay?
Bryan,
yeah,
it gets to become a very sad story
in a
hold
town
on. Like this.
Thank you, and thank you for chapter 2.
Let me get my fork and knife and pull up to the dinner table because Daddy hungry.
And thank you for because I just read you the first half of the book, but now we're in the second half.
Now we're getting to the Empire Strikes Back.
We're in the second half of the game, and what happens is so the
now
smart
you can
ones,
talk to Steve.
Now you can
now
talk
you're
to
ready
Steve.
to talk. Now Stevie's got a shot.
And what's fascinating is that they go through it. They're fabulous.
Yeah.
The world has been bowing at their feet, and they haven't had to pay for a fucking thing.
Right.
And then what happens is they get to be about 36, 37. Their voice grounds. Their voice gets lower.
The SIGs caught up.
The SIGs, the partying caught up, and they are their feet are on the ground, and now they're ready to get serious. But everybody else is like, but hold on, we've been serious, and I'm not sure what you're offering right now because you spent so much time offering that, and now you're kind of trying to. I guess you have experience. You kind of have like a lot of bad relationship history. You got, but there's not a whole lot that's being brought to the party.
What happens is they're the shit, and then you're Bo Jackson.
That's right.
You're playing for the Royals, you're playing for the Raiders, and then your knee goes out.
Yeah.
And now you're a mere mortal, like the rest of us. And it reminds me of a favorite Donald Trump quote. And we said this before when they asked him about Heidi Klum. Sadly, she's no longer 10. It's the greatest line that he ever said. And get used to hearing it because I'm going to say it whenever I can. But I fucking love that line.
It's just so, and what I always think is if you have that currency, you see, when the stock is going up, you got to know when to cash out. Like my buddy Jeff Foley said, the people who sold GameStop at 100 were told they were stupid by the people that sold it at 200.
Right.
And the people that sold it at 200 were called stupid by the people that sold the stock at 300.
Right.
And the ones at 300 were told they were stupid for the ones who sold it at 400. But the stupid ones is the one still holding on to the stock because it's gonna crash. Get the fuck out, even if you're gonna lose some currency. Get out when you can.
Exactly.
And cut your losses. The party is gonna end. Leave the party. Leave the fucking party before there are a couple shaky coke addicts in the corner. You got to get the fuck out when there's still life. And so
when you're in the club and you say, "Is it too loud in here?" Go home.
Go home. And if you came to LA and you want to be an actress and it's not working out, or a model and it's not working out, or it is working out, but it's starting to be a struggle, you gotta, this is going to sound fucked up, but there are a lot of very wealthy, kind men who would be very happy to take you on as their wife, have children with you. Yeah. This is a fucked up thing to say, but I've thought about it. Men don't have this option. That we don't have this, but women do. And I a lot of the ones they go, okay, I'm getting married to this big producer. I'm getting married. And things tend to be, at least you got a nest egg. At least when you get divorced, which you're gonna, you get half his fucking money. Right. But without that, I have seen, and you have seen the way that movie ends.
Well, all the times that like the women in this town come here, there's the casting couch, there's fucking their way to the top and all this stuff. And then there's the Me Too movement and they level the playing field. It's like, all right, now you just have to do it by your own merits. And I just thought, well, that's kind of fucking ridiculous, because if I was a guy and I had in my 20s and I had a chance to fuck my way to the top, it's like, yeah, I might have done that.
You can take might have.
You never had that opportunity.
You can take might have out of that sentence. If there was, if I have to have sex with those women, those powerful women there who are running sign me up right now. I would 100%. I would. I'll come in. I'll tell you what.
I'm trying to go to the funny bone to get a hand job from a 4 at Chili's at 2 a.m. It's like, yeah, this could help my career. I'll do it.
How about this? I'll do you one better. If the top brass were women at a network and I could have gotten a part, or I could have even gotten in there for many of the big auditions, and they were like, hey, Bryan, you got to come over and service us. You got to give us cunnilingus. We just want to use, don't talk to us. We're just going to be sitting at our desk and we're going to open our legs. You crawl under our desk and take care of us. Yeah. I would do that. I would do that.
I will get a wet nap and go to your Mercedes to the parking garage, devalidate, and take care of business.
100%.
Yeah. I get my SAG card. Yeah. I get insurance this year. Okay.
Use me. And I don't. If you're a guy and you wouldn't do that, you might not be able to be my friend. I got a judgment on you. I mean, that's the fundamental difference between guys. And I read this whole thing about. Can't remember where it was, But this gay guy was writing this blog or this story.
Hold on,
about,
let me lay down and point my toes. I'm ready to hear this.
There it is.
Oh.
There it is. There it is. And he's like, he was a good looking guy. And he said, at any given time, I can reach out online and have a stranger I've never met come over and just suck my dick.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
a gay guy, like when you're a young couple, okay, you would ask your partner if it's an insecure relationship or in your 20s because you're immature, how many people have you had sex with? That's a conversation that's going to come up within the first 6 months to a year. Gay dudes don't ask that question because they know that's like asking me how many times I've had pizza in the last year. It's a fucking lot. So don't ask that question. Because the answer will appall you. Because you'll look at me differently from then on. Here's something. So I was doing some crowd work with some gay guys in Tampa, and I learned this, that you don't just go to a gay club and you're fucking and sucking and tapping your foot in the rest stop and stuff. That's
for senators that are pretending to be straight.
That's for anybody running for office. Yeah. There's also the dichotomy of understanding: are you a top or are you bottom?
Yes.
And there's the unwritten rule of like, if you both pull your pants down and then you both turn around, you're just bumping butts. It's like, no, I thought but you're supposed, no, oh, fuck, we got to go back to the club.
And apparently, thank you for that. And apparently in the same fucking article or blog, I read, I don't know if that's true, but
why is it laminated though?
Because I pay extra. Because I pay extra for my issue of dick.
Okay, for your issue of dick.
I've subscribed to the magazine Gawk. and tops are
I was in your bathroom
desired.
and I read a magazine called Girth.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was, but it's a very wide.
I'll show you. Well, I'll show you. And it's a different culture. Wait, we're off topic.
Yeah,
Steve.
We ended up in a gay club.
Yeah, and that's always going to happen on this podcast, and probably because I need to come out of the closet. But and by the way, my girlfriend's grandmother was saying that Bryan, I don't know what's going on, but everybody is calling him gay, and they think he's gay. Yeah, and so I was like, no, it's just a thing I do, and that's my online.
What, everyone
presence.
at the home?
And, by the way, I'm dating your daughter, and I'm way older, so you're welcome. Yeah.
But there's always, I think anytime you get even a semblance of success in this town, there's going to be gay rumors.
Yeah. And guess what? Don't care. Guess what? Please continue those rumors.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm 10% gay, as I always say. Me and Brendan used to always say, well, we're both 10% gay. Little gay. I mean, I don't know how drunk I'd have to be, but if you're really hot, I mean, who knows? And I'm like, what? Let us out of this room, you guys. This is crazy. How famous are you? I've never had a gay experience, but the night is still young. The point is this. We need intro music, dude.
Okay, we need intro music. Yeah.
And I'm thinking that we just do, we may not need instrumentation. Maybe we just do our own
sound bites
music. Yeah, like we have to end with a meow.
It has to end with a meow, though. Can I just ask you?
It would be funny if it ended with a moo.
Because we've talked about it between you and I, and you sent me the leopard or panther growl?
It's actually it probably is a panther growl. Yeah,
okay.
I prefer
that you like.
Well, nothing, but I prefer a mountain lion, and I want to just, there's a mountain lion screaming that I want to share with you because it's so disturbing and scary. Okay. And they I mean, this thing fucking, I think they can leap 40 feet. They're the most athletic cat apparently, and there's no reason I should know
how
that.
Do you know these
Because I know everything. Let me see if this is the one. Hold on. Oh, it's quiet. Oh, he's got this fucking thing on camera. Come on. It's so eerie to hear it. It scares me. Wow, this is a whole lot of nothing. What the fuck was that?
That's a dolphin.
Well, that's kind of funny. Dude.
I mean, how could you not be like,
How did you not know that was a dolphin?
That's kind of cool. Do it again. I didn't know.
Out of all the animal noises, you probably know, you didn't know that was a dolphin.
That sounds like a human. That's not a cat.
That's a fucking mountain lion.
That sounds like my mother on an anniversary in Hawaii. There's no way that's
because it is. Boom, picture, mommy.
That's not a cat.
That's
For
a
real?
fucking mountain lion.
No way.
Yeah, it's night vision of a mountain lion. I YouTube that shit. But wait, there's a better one. It's kind of crazy, right?
Oh wow, it is.
It's not very scary. It's not a lion's roar, but there is one where it's fucking terrifying. Where, here you go. Here you go. Watch this. Watch this. You hear the birds. This is in the middle of the night. And this is in the middle of the forest. That's a fuck. You hear that?
Yeah, that's that would be, honey, pack the shit, grab the kids, we're getting the fuck out of Yosemite.
Yeah, that's right. That's fucking
After
terrifying.
I throw my Dockers in the campfire. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But
very scary.
so your Big and Hungry is,
well,
your intro song is,
I don't know, maybe Big and Hungry, yeah. We're big. Oh, not really, but we hungry. It's fucking, I don't know, dude. We need, anybody who's listening to this, can you, like, we might need like a, how long? 5 second?
5 seconds, yeah.
Like 5 second intro song? Big and Hungry.
Big and Hungry.
Oh, fucking dolphins are big and hungry.
I mean, that's fucking crazy. You can't be in a bad mood hearing that. You could literally watch Schindler's List and be crying on the couch and someone would just put a phone to you and go, and you can't not smile.
It is kind of cool.
Hotel Rwanda. You just hear that, you're like, okay.
Sure, people are being killed, but hey, I know you're having a really bad day. I know you're just diagnosed with a terminal disease, but
apart from a genocide.
I wonder if we just do a bunch of animal sounds. Back to back. Mountain lion, fucking dolphin, anything that's big and hungry.
Oh,
Mountain lions are big and hungry.
I got one.
Dolphins are big and hungry.
I got one for you. Hold on.
Great white sharks don't make noise.
I just need a little prep on this.
Oh, you got one? Oh,
well, I'll see. Hold on. I gotta. Of course, the Wi-Fi sucks in here. Here we go. Hold on.
My oh! It's a fucking crow.
Okay.
I think anything that represents big and hungry is a good sound. Are you looking?
Yeah. Let me just pause this. Oh, Brooke Shields.
I'm so much more confident.
Still hot.
I don't love that as
Brooke Shields?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
worked
saw
with her. I worked with her.
Oh, sorry?
I worked with her.
I was at a
On Suddenly Susan.
wedding and she was there and I was like, oh my God. Still like unbelievable.
Her husband, Chris Henchy's a great fucking guy. He's a writer. I think he's Adam McKay's partner, one of those guys. He's such a good guy.
Okay.
I know what this is. Let me see if I can guess what it is.
Okay.
I think it's an eagle. Got it.
Big and hungry.
Hold on, don't tell me what it is. Try again. Big and hungry. Let's do it together. Ready? Big and hungry. Is that a fucking deer of some kind?
No, it's a kitten.
Ah, fuck kittens.
Are you allergic?
Do a lion's roar.
A lion's roar? Okay.
Yeah. Grand et fin. Big and hungry in French. Grand et fin.
What?
How do you say big and hungry in Spanish? Grande y Anthony, you're half Mexican. Come on, dude.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. That is so fucking scary, dude. Can you imagine hearing that in the forest, in the woods?
I'm going to do this next time I go through. Hold on.
Grande abriento. Grande abriento. Grande y abriento. Oh, there we go. Oh, shit. I like that screen. We got a screen now. Grande y abriento.
Hello.
Grande y abriento. Grande y abriento. Got it, ready? Grande y abriento.
Hello, welcome to Arby's. Can I take your order?
Holy fuck, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, we need intro music, and I'm not sure what the fuck it is. It could just be that lion sound. It could just be it could be dolphin, lion, fucking, what else is big and hungry? Bear. Let's hear a bear.
I think a dolphin makes me laugh.
A dolphin's very good because it's still big and hungry. Grande y abriento. Welcome to the Grande y Abriento podcast.
Let's see here.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. That fucking scares me because they eat you ass first. No thanks.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Well,
that?
because people turn and they try to cover themselves, and then the bear goes, I'm just going to eat. I'm going to start eating your legs and your ass if you don't mind while you're alive because I like my food fresh. Okay? And that,
so the bear
that
literally
happens.
tosses the salad and then...
It's the worst. You just start getting eaten that way. No thanks.
Well, it is smart. You want to start with the appetizer first and slowly
Correct.
work your way into the meat. So I guess if you're going to start with a salad. And then
Start
get
with the
meat.
salad.
Yeah.
Start with the salad. There was a guy who fucking... a woman who wrote this article about being attacked by a hyena that she was rehabilitating, a large spotted hyena. And I guess she had a limp. She had hurt her knee.
Yeah.
And the hyena was like, I think she's injured. And the hyena fucking bit a piece of her thigh out and swallowed it. Like just went, and she saw it. It swallowed it. Like she went, he was like, I'm going to eat you now and I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to chew. I'm going to go, and she was like, oh, and she was getting pulled. It was pulling her legs. She was like kind of doing the splits.
Yeah.
Because she was trying to get out of the cage. And she said, I looked in its eyes, and I guess when it pulled, it took 2 chunks, and it took another one out of her like calf, and then was like, all right, and she darted out. That's
to anybody that thinks you can rehab nature, you're out of your fucking mind.
Well, yeah. If you work with fucking elefantes and you're not careful, if you work with chimpanzees and you're not careful, if you work with fucking leones, tigres, any of the big cats, jaguars, fucking a jaguar, bro, do not fuck with, nobody understands how fucking dangerous a jaguar is, okay? Lions, okay, Steve,
Yes.
quick little fucking trivia thing since you
I'm
don't know
ready.
shit. What is more dangerous, a lion or a tiger?
I would assume a lion.
Okay. I don't mind your answer. Let's go this way. What do you think is a smarter cat, lions or tigers?
I would have no idea. I would have literally no clue.
Okay, well,
the difference between
here's a hint. Lions are in prides. Tigers are solitary creatures. What does that tell you?
a tiger.
Okay, tigers are not as smart.
No?
No, not in the area code because lions have to read social cues. They have to read aggression. They have to read play. They because they have to interact with an entire pride
Right.
of lions. They have to, and then they have to establish a dominance hierarchy.
Right.
Otherwise, they get fucked up. So they have to be able to read the male lion's mood that day.
Right.
And that's why with lions, you have to kind of communicate with them.
Mm-hmm.
They greet you. There's a way they greet. They're like dogs. There's a way they greet you. If you don't greet them, it's going to be a problem. There's a way to read a lion. Tigers are solitary. You don't know what the fuck they're thinking. It can just be a bad day for them. And if you fall down in front of them, If you fall down, Steve,
Right.
and you're not that sure-footed around a tiger, I've seen you. You're food, motherfucker. I'm sorry I'm coming at you this hard, but you got to know. Jaguars do not give a fuck. You can tame them, and one day you're taking them for a walk, and you went left when they wanted to go right.
Who's walking?
Big cat trainer. Big cat trainer.
So lions are bigamous. Tigers are the wild card.
Yeah. And Jaguars are simply they are simply very dangerous.
Right.
You do not want to be around them.
I don't think you want to be around any of them.
Yeah, but people can tame lions, and lions can actually get to like you if you're their tame. If you
feed it.
If you've been around them. Yeah.
If you feed it.
If you feed it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, they'll actually get attached to you. They'll actually greet you. You can wrestle with them. You see this. And you see it with tigers to an extent. You don't really see it with jags. I mean, there are cases, but it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. You see a guy playing with a fucking jaguar that he's tamed, look at your watch, because it's a matter of time. All right? I'm sorry this fucking show is so animal heavy, and I know I have a reputation for going animal on everybody, but fuck.
Were you raised in a zoo? Like, did you have a zoo pass, like an annual zoo pass?
No.
When you were growing up in Afghanistan? Like, how do you know this much?
Well, Afghanistan.
Did your parents leave you just in front of National Geographic? Like, you know an
I
exorbitant
know
amount of animals.
I even know what big cat is indigenous to Afghanistan, to the Kush Valley. What big cat are you liable to find today?
Like a snow leopard.
Thank you.
Am I correct?
Thank you, sir.
Am I?
Yes, you fucking
Smatter
are.
of time before Burn came through. Smatter of time. Smatter of time.
Fucking well done. This whole fucking podcast should be called Smatter of Time.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, you did.
Fuck yes.
Snow leopard.
I'm pretty jazzed about
and
that.
Bro, they are elusive.
I will watch Jeopardy for 30 minutes and not get one question. But I know the mountainous terrain.
Yeah.
And I would assume, maybe there's.
And you spent some time in Afghanistan. How many USO tours did you do?
I've done 10 USO tours.
Fucking patriot.
Yeah.
And your brother served this country valiantly.
Served, yeah.
I love you that. 10 times. You are amazing.
The first USO tour I ever did was, we did one together.
Highlight of my life.
And first USO tour I did was in 2004, the height of the Iraq War with Callen, Quinn, and Robert Kelly. And I'll never forget, I was the first one to go up because I was the least experienced. But Quinn took me because he knew my brother was stationed there, and I got to spend the day with my brother, which was awesome. But I remember the second show we did, it was outdoors in like this bombed out kind of like courtyard in Baghdad. And there's a flatbed truck with like that netted camo over the speakers and folding chairs for some of the more established officers. So I'm looking at the space with our liaison, who's also a soldier, and there's a building here and a building here and a building there. And I go, why are there snipers up there? He goes, oh, those snipers are looking out at the snipers at the insurgent side. And they're stopping those snipers. And I'm like, why the fuck are we outside?
Holy
let's go inside, right?
Yeah.
And so the first few minutes, I'm thinking, am I going to get fucking picked off here on a flatbed truck in Baghdad? But I was like, I'm just here to tell jokes. And if I have that slight amount of fear, imagine what these guys and gals feel every single
dude, when
day.
we were there, I had that feeling every single day, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't, because I was afraid of suicide bombings, and they were at a high when we were there. I remember they would brief us, and we were in these Hummers, and I was like, oh, well, we might hit a roadside bomb at any minute. I was sitting with my legs crossed, like on the thing, keep my mouth open in case the concussive force. I was trying to do all the things that I was told. And
thanks for telling me.
I know.
I didn't get the fucking heads up.
Well, I wanted to win. But I remember there were so many.
Steve was a great guy.
The gunner looked down at me and he goes, if we start to tip over, I'm going to need you to pull me inside. Can you do that? And I went, yeah. Lock and load. Let's roll. It was me and Dove were like, what the fuck? But
Dove got yelled at. Remember that?
Oh yeah, for taking pictures in the wrong place.
They do not take any pictures.
No.
I'm pulling up to the gate, and Dove, like a Japanese tourist, pulled his fucking camera out.
Click, click, click.
And the guy goes, "What did I fucking tell you?
Blackwater guy.
Tell you."
I looked at him. He was so thick. I go, remember what I said to the guy? This Blackwater guy was as fucking Spartan as it looked. I mean, he was so still. It was almost like he was dressing for a movie, and he probably was. And
Central casting.
Yeah, and I looked at him, and he's like, you know where the fuck you are? And he was being a dick to us, but then he was cool.
Yeah,
because he found out we were comics, and he goes, tell me a joke. And I looked at him, I go, bro, you don't need a gun. The fuck is with you? You couldn't be thicker. You couldn't have grown more from east to west.
Yeah.
He's just the fucking thickest guy I've ever seen.
Well, here's my favorite memory. When they took us to an armory, and I had to go use the bathroom. So you, Dove, Davidoff, and Sam Tripoli. I think Sam actually was going to eat. So it was me, you, and Dove. And I go to use the restroom, and I come back to the armory where it's just this cachet of every weapon you could ever imagine. And I come back in, and I see Dove holding a pretty heavy gun. He's like, wow, this is a heavy piece. It's a heavy piece. And then I look over, and who do I see with his fucking shirt off, holding two massive guns?
Like a fucking
asking
loser.
Dove to take a picture of him.
With my shirt off and my impossibly untanned skin. And my regular body.
And it was just classic Callen. Classic Callen.
In it with his golf physique holding two guns.
That's right.
That were way too heavy for me. I don't know if you remember when I put on that Marine's full load, like I put on his bulletproof vest, which was really a bulletproof turtle shell that went all the way around his body, and then helmet, and then his rucksack, his rook, whatever. And a gun. Bro, listen to me. I was like, I can barely walk.
Yeah.
This is I actually found it. I was like, there's no way I could wear all this shit and walk around all day. And I consider myself to be in shape and not too weak. I didn't understand it. I felt like such a bitch.
Yeah.
And by the way, running, never mind, walking is a nightmare. Never mind running. And you're on patrol or you're on mission. That's why
plus 110-degree heat.
Yeah, I saw this.
On top of all that with the heat. I remember we went to the fire department and they had us dress up in the suits, the fire retardant suits, and we had to do the they put us through like a little obstacle course.
I was with you.
Pull the hose.
I was with you. Remember? No, I did that. I put on the bomb.
You put on the bomb
suit.
That is no joke.
But
either.
I had shitty shoes, man. I had my fucking leather-soled shoes.
You were wearing Birkenstocks, correct?
No. God damn it. I ain't no hippie. But I was wearing these really cool boots, these cool I may as well have been a Parisian. I was dressed like a Parisian. And I fucking
Dove and I are here to tell jokes. Brian's here to talk you guys through male figure skating whenever you guys are ready to talk to the peacock.
Exactly. I had to look good.
Yeah.
A fucking disaster.
But
wait a minute. Wait, go back to that. It said something. You brought up some shit on Jaguars?
Jaguars.
Jaguars. Hold on. I want to read this. Wild hunters can tame and mount jaguars. Now you just need to find out where the jaguars are. You can enter the jaguar habitat at any time by talking to Blackjack at the jaguar habitat. Once there, you can use the capture. Use the capture skill to tame a new jaguar.
Yeah, I don't even know what this is for. I was just looking up if you can tame an actual
that
jaguar.
might be for
you were on Craigslist.
Jaguar.
I would love it if I fucking walked up to a bunch of gangbangers.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey guys, the party's over. And they start fucking laughing at me. I snap my finger and you come on a tamed jaguar as you mount it and round a corner. You're like, yeah, the party's over, boys.
According to National,
on a mounted jaguar
with a small,
who would mount a fucking
with a
jaguar?
Small saddle. Oh, I don't believe that. What we just read on Google?
There's no way you can mount a jaguar.
Don't believe it.
According to National Geographic, they can't be tamed, but lions, tigers, and leopards can be.
Thank you. What'd I say? What the fuck did I say?
I'm still telling you, the skunk is the king of the jungle.
Well,
no one will fuck with a skunk.
The skunk and the porcupine. The porcupine will keep a whole group of lions at bay. You ain't doing shit with a porcupine.
Yeah.
See if you can find, and I'm going to prove this on YouTube, anybody riding a jaguar, because if you do, I'm going to quit everything.
I think you will literally spontaneously combust.
I might.
Or contact whomever it is that trains just so you can get that selfie.
Yeah. Man riding Jaguar. Mountain lion. Yeah, no.
Looks
No.
like
There's
nothing
people
so
getting
far.
attacked by
No.
jaguars.
Did you see that video of the cougar in the wild a few months ago?
Yeah, chasing
Brian
the guy,
was
coming up to
the video.
guy.
The video of Brian at Elaine Bryant
No, not that one, Steve. But
holding
thank
a
you.
bunch of Cinnabons, saying who's ready.
Not that one, but thank you, Steve. Yeah, that jaguar was like, I'm hungry and I'm going to eat you.
Terrifying.
Fuck yeah. Because this just a dog doing that would be a nightmare.
See, when he said the cougar video, I said Brian and Elaine Bryant. I'll explain the joke. So what happened is Brian's in Elaine Bryant, and it's usually like overweight women of a certain age that shop in there. So that's the point of that joke.
And that's
Moving on. Sorry.
And that's the point of the joke.
That's the point of the joke. I was just explaining it to you. So.
And I liked it very much. And thank you. And thank you. Remember Jack LaLanne?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
In the spandex?
Lived till he was 96.
He always dressed like he was on the set of Buck Rogers,
Yeah.
but in real life.
Yes, he did. Can we, I know it's ancient history, but can we just take a minute to talk about the phenomenon of excellence that is Tom Brady?
Amazing.
Any thoughts on that guy? I mean, the fact that he won a Super Bowl without Belichick. I wonder if Belichick called him to congratulate him. That's my question.
I'm sure.
You think so?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Can you see if you can find that? I'm really curious. I mean, I would hope. I admire both of them very much, but
Bill, Dr. Dynamite Belichick.
I mean, it's unbelievable. But the fact that this motherfucker, by the way, he had Dominic Sue. He has Antonio Brown.
AB.
He's got Gronkowski.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a crazy team.
But he's got
there. But
he's got time working against him. And I think it's
he's
like
incredible.
the only hiccup I can find on him is that he wore Ugg boots like 8 years ago. And it's like, that's the chink in the armor.
That's literally the only thing I can think. That's right.
Yeah.
And by the way, got more handsome as he got older, like in a weird
He
way.
did, yeah.
Goofy looking when he was young.
Yeah.
And somehow, I don't know what happened, but he got more chiseled,
Yeah.
more handsome, more symmetrical. And
you know what's
he
funny
is-
about that, Brian?
What?
Money does that.
Money.
Money does that to people.
Yeah, because you can get yourself.
Money, success, and winning.
It did that with Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins looked like a man dinosaur.
He looks like a fucking puppet, like
Yeah.
a ventriloquist dummy puppet that you should be pulling the string on. But
Correct.
he's
Correct.
a handsome.
But
There's nothing about Belichick specifically, but the New England Patriots on Twitter congratulated him and then said, "And Gronk, be careful with that trophy."
why is that?
No idea.
Huh.
Maybe there's some kind of
Must have
inside
done
joke
something to
there.
it.
Well, my question is, first of all, I want to see Brady play until he's 45. I want to see, and I think Tampa could win again next year without a doubt. I mean, and it for me, it warms my heart because I was rooting for Antonio Brown. I know people think he's an asshole, but I fucking love him.
He's nuts.
I think he was.
I'll tell you
he
this,
was
though.
suffering from brain trauma.
The
I really
Lombardi
do.
Trophy looks like a sales trophy.
Yeah.
The greatest, and the NBA trophy looks like a paperweight.
Yeah.
The Major League Baseball, it's a bunch of flags.
Yeah.
The greatest trophy
Yeah,
in all the
Stanley
sports,
Cup.
the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And the greatest tradition that you get to spend the day with it and take it around with you.
Yeah.
And you
Are
go
you allowed
around
to
the ice
drink
with
out
it.
of it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't,
Yeah.
knowing things that I know about it. But my good friend Dave Bolin, who you know,
Yes.
the greatest the greatest story I know about Dave is that he was the only Chicago Blackhawk to stay in Chicago during the summer. They said Rocky Wirtz, the president of the Hawks, said, "Do not take the cup to Wrigley." He said, "I will not take the cup to Wrigley," and he went to one of the rooftops and he's holding it up.
Oh God.
And all of Wrigley Field goes crazy, and he had to get a police escort out of there. And then that night he was partying with it. I think Ben Eager, they were on his rooftop and they were holding up the trophy, just screaming out at Chicago. And the trophy fell
Oh Jesus.
and got wedged in between two brownstones.
Fuck.
So they had to
What?
They had to hold somebody's legs as the other one was like getting it and wedging it out.
Dude, I was hanging out with those guys because I hung with Dave after my show.
Yeah.
And the team and,
Mhm.
and great guys, but barbarians, like
hockey
Spartan
players are
barbarians. Like
yeah.
I didn't know after a while if they were gonna hug me or punch me. And just to a man, obviously, Dave's remarkably normal looking physically. The other dudes were just as thick and as big and as strong as it gets.
Yeah.
And we're getting more and more drunk and more rowdy.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting for the last dudes you want to fight. I would suggest you fight baseball players and even football players in some ways.
Before a hockey player.
They're just, I don't know. They just have that. They're not going to get tired, first of all. They're not going to get tired.
They're not going to get tired.
They're going to punch your fucking lights out and you're going to have a hard time hurting them. They just got the whole...
Remember the Hulkbuster in the Avengers?
Big, though. People don't realize how big they are.
Where it goes like this, the Hulkbuster in the Avengers, it was just that's them. They will grab your shirt, and before you can do anything or grab it, just tank. And if you can sustain that and live through that, you have a shot.
Yeah. And don't be surprised.
9 times out of 10.
Please don't be surprised if they're 235. Please don't be surprised if they're that big.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if they're 6'4". That's not unusual.
Yeah.
And like Sheldon Surrey, I hung with him a couple times. Well, he couldn't be more handsome, first of all.
Right.
But he is every bit as big as Brendan Schaub. I mean, he's 6'4".
Jesus.
240.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just like, what the fuck is going on here? Now, he's big, but...
Right. Hockey players are they're like Canadian farm boys. That's all they are, with a little success and probably a bad childhood. So there's that mean streak in there, but 9% of the time, the press always says hockey players are the best to deal with.
Never met a fighter who didn't have some kind of a broken home situation.
Yeah.
Never met a fighter who didn't have at least one alcoholic
They're just
parent.
angrier comics with athletic ability, probably.
I think that's a great analogy. I really do. Like there are similarities between porn people, stand-up comics, and fighters. There really are.
We all got the neon disease. We got the neon disease. The minute the neon light comes on at 7 p.m., that's when we go to work. That's when the lights are on. That's when we're ready to, get involved. We got vampire hours.
Yeah, you need like this combination of self-destructive energy and also the need to be really good at something. I don't know. And it's such a solitary thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's I find it interesting that at the Comedy Store, so many porn stars would always be hanging around.
You found it fascinating?
No, I found it interesting because in a way...
I found it awesome.
Yeah, as do I. But in a way, like when you're a porn star or whatever you want to call it, you do porn, the way you make money is a couple ways. One, you do private shows, meaning you do whatever you do. And then you also can feature at clubs, strip clubs. And then you have your social media, you have your OnlyFans.
Right.
But, featuring at strip clubs is just like, it's like you're on the road doing a weekend at a club.
Right.
Just like comics.
If you had
you got to promote that.
Porn star name, what would your porn star name be?
Oh, fucking Miles Long.
Miles Long.
Or probably,
here's mine.
Probably something like Gronk American. Just because I'm looking at Gronkowski, I think it'd be a Gronk.
You look like if Gronk was Captain America, you're the Steve Rogers that goes in that capsule. Yeah.
Yes, I am. I'm the Steve Rogers that goes in that cap. Thank you for that, because I didn't grow. But or if I was a porn star, I think my name would be like two sounds.
Mine would be Ricky Puddles. Ricky Puddles, and I would be infamous for creating a puddle in the sheets, and then as the end credits, as the end credits play, the girl goes, "Ricky, are we gonna cuddle?" I go, "Not in that puddle," and then I leave, and that's how I end every movie, and then I'll look at the camera and wink, "Not in that puddle."
That's fucking genius.
I know.
What's the puddle
Classic
though,
brand.
Bro? How'd you create the puddle?
Huh?
How'd you create the puddle?
Lots of pineapple and milk.
Oh, God. So you mean the puddle is from you're not sweating or you're not peeing?
Well, you could be, but I would create a massive puddle at the end. Like,
this is for you. That's what the noise you make?
Just,
Why don't you just, your name should be, just HAAAAGH.
Ricky, puddles.
Yeah. Now, what was I going to say? Are you optimistic about the government, Steve? Let's talk politics here. You know what I always think? Listen to me, everybody. If you're worried about politics, or you're happy about politics, or there's this Chinese saying that the emperor, heaven is high and the emperor is far away.
Right.
Meaning, worry about what the fuck is going on right now in your own backyard.
Yeah. Well, I always prefer, anytime people bring up politics, I prefer not to talk about it. I prefer to talk about religion and the Jews, please.
Do that.
Yes.
Get super offensive.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, if you're a Christian, Jesus was a rabbi. Just so you know.
Let's talk about these.
I love the Christians. I love the Muslims. I love
them all.
I love the Mexicans. They're
I love a
wonderful people.
space laser. I love pointing a space laser.
That's the craziest thing, but I don't know. I think it's crazy how much, when people were complaining about the Capitol riots and, the Capitol building being besieged and all this other stuff, I'm like, this shit should have happened like months ago, because they're so inept. Whether you're right or left, nobody's getting small business checks. Nobody's getting stimulus money. Nobody's getting anything. It's like over the course of a year, they've doled out like 2 checks to the American people that can't pay their rent. It's like, why hasn't this happened like earlier from both sides? This is crazy to me.
I just worry that like I got too many friends that have lost their fucking businesses for good. And then like the people that are making these, I've talked about this, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I just worry that like whoever is making policy isn't paying for when that policy turns out to be bullshit,
right,
or wrong. That's the problem. I don't know how to fix that, but like it's like if you don't know what it takes to build a business over 10 years,
right,
then it's way easier just to kind of. It's like a teenager that kills a grown man with a family,
right,
and a career.
Yeah,
and the teenager robs him for $5 and shoots him. The teenager his prefrontal cortex hasn't fucking grown. It hasn't developed yet, or whatever happened to him. And he has no idea the tragedy, the ripple effect, what he's actually done, the magnitude, because as an adult, you realize like, at 54, I realize how difficult it is to be successful at anything. Like how much time it takes, how many pitfalls there are, how much self-defeating talk you've got to overcome, you know, and then just the skill itself and how many things have to go just right for it all to work out. And I'm not trying to discourage anybody from going for their dreams, but it does take a long time. And when somebody just goes, you know what? Is this your chessboard? And throws it in the air. You're like, fuck, man.
Well, it's just like when you look at somebody's resume, when you go to somebody's IMDb page, when you go to your IMDb page, right? Yeah. Which you have so many credits on that thing. I'm sure it's probably 2 or 3 pages long, right? Those are all the yeses.
Yeah.
That's a yes. That's a yes. That's a yes. Yeah. You don't see the 15 to 30 no's that you got
it's more
to
than
get
that.
to that
it's 100
one.
No's per
just
yes.
for at this point in your career. But when you're starting off, are you kidding?
Fuck, dude.
Like
years
in this industry, in any industry, anything you're gonna pursue, the door is constantly gonna get shut in your face. There's a plethora of no's waiting for you out there. So when you see somebody like Tom Brady, for example, win the Super Bowl, that guy's, as much as we sit there and go, oh, he's got a Jaguar, he's got a hot shot. That dude has got the door shut in his face so many damn times.
Well, he does it
more than we think.
Yeah, and I think to be that good at something, you've got to shut the door on yourself a lot. Like, you Tiger Woods and guys like Tom Brady, they live and breathe that. It's like there was that Japanese baseball player who was an amazing hitter. I can't remember his name.
Ichiro Suzuki?
I think it was Ichiro. Yeah. And he had a room in his house, just a room where he would practice his swing.
Yeah.
Like a samurai warrior, And like that requires a level. Like if you want to be really good at practice that day, it means you can't really fuck off that night because you need your sleep and your energy has to be at a maximum, and you've got to be crisp and clear-headed. It's like some people like there's that famous story where John Daly was like, Tiger, why don't you ever hang out? And Tiger goes, well, because I have to practice, John. I don't have your talent.
Right.
And it's like, oh shit, I don't have your natural ability.
Yeah, I have a room in my home dedicated where I just spend hours and hours, where I just dedicate myself to doing what I do best, and that is sleep.
Wow.
I can do 10 to 12 hours.
Yes, you can.
It is a bedroom.
Yes, you can. You can sleep on a plane.
The real work actually occurs within less than 2 minutes, according to my wife. But
Oh,
sleeping.
Yeah.
And besides,
Well, you came down in a pair of
I don't cuddle. Who's gonna sleep in that puddle?
been eating the right foods. Here you go.
you know, it'd be hilarious. I've never seen anybody do this in a porn. Go, and then
I have.
you pretended to sneeze, but then the
I've
the cum
seen.
comes-
Well, when I was in sex education as a kid, they explained what an orgasm was, and they said it's like a sneeze, but it feels much better. Swear to God.
Do you have a cat? I think I'm a little.
and then just.
I mean, I think I do that.
I wouldn't be surprised. Have you done it?
No, I usually go, God bless America.
And then there's Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii.
Alaska.
Archipelago. I don't know, man. I don't fucking I think it's a weird thing. I think everybody some people make a lot of noise. As I had this joke, you ever hear somebody having sex and not want to be friends with them anymore? Like it sounds like
What?
somebody's like I'm saying,
Who
have
did
you
you
ever
hear?
heard a friend of yours have sex and then not want to be friends with them anymore? Well, I heard my friend having sex with this gal, and it sounded like he had his head caught in the window, like between two bars and trying to get his
Yeah.
head out. True story.
I was in a hotel. I mean, I've had a joke about this, but I was in a hotel recently, and I heard people having sex right next to me, and I mean, really going at it. And then later on, I heard the door opening, and the girl said, "Come on, hey, come on." And I was like, "I gotta see what they look like." And I was kind of getting turned on when you hear it,
course.
and then you run over
it's
to the
fucking
peephole,
hot, actually.
and I looked out, and they both looked like Chumley from Pawn Stars. I was like, "Oh fuck!" I was like
Damn it.
literally. I was like,
Yeah, you wanna
I can
see-
jerk off to this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm glad I didn't fucking jerk off to that. It was
God,
disgusting.
yeah, you want to see that they're hot as fuck.
Yeah.
I know.
It's just like when you're in 8th grade, lesbians are the greatest thing in the world. And then you become an adult and you're around lesbians. You're like, oh, no, they're not the one. I like the other ones, like from Penthouse or Cherry or.
Dude, we were I was a young man, and my buddy had a girlfriend. He brought this girl with him. We went skiing, and she was from China, and
Yeah.
she spoke very little English.
Yeah.
And she was very beautiful. And I remember we went up on the mountain. My buddy takes her on a run. She'd never skied. And
Oh,
she
Jesus
sat
Christ.
down. She sat down and wouldn't get up because she didn't know how to stop. And my friend's like, "Come on!" And he's being a little bit mean to her. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Bro, fuck!" She's terrified.
Yeah.
She's shut up. And we brought her, and they brought her back down on the ski lift because she just couldn't take it. She was
Yeah.
like, "This is dangerous." But he was Italian. He had a Brajol, and he had sex with her, and my girlfriend and I I could not believe the ruckus.
Oh,
I
really?
mean, she had never had sex like this or something. She was like literally going, ah! I swear to God, ah! Like I mean, she was
Yeah,
raising.
you're taking a Chinese girl and dropping her off in Italy. What do you think's going to happen? She's
My-
probably got an Italian horn like scar from her getting dinged by it, just like thunk, thunk, thunk.
Dude,
Ha!
it was that noise, but it was louder and it was even more hysterical.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend and I were just like, we were in the kitchen, like, what in the fuck is going on?
I was
It was
touring
the
with the comic,
craziest shit I'd ever seen.
and he was,
Heard.
you know, sometimes like when you get in a hotel, like they'll book me at 6:01, they'll give you 7:01.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why they do that. So the comic was above me in whatever. And I get back after the show, and he had gone out, and it was hardwood floors. It was like one of these new hotels. And I heard him fucking this girl in the chair, because the chair was scooting along the wall. And then it got to the thing, and then they pulled the chair back like a typewriter. And then they banged their way over to the other thing. And then he pulled it back again. And then the third time, they just said, fuck it. And he just fucked her in the chair. And it was so weird to hear like,
Yeah.
like Sling Blade, Bobby
Yeah,
Bill
yeah.
pulling the chair.
I think that when people say we had sex all night, I'm always like, I don't know. I've never done that. I have sex 10 minutes is a good run.
Yeah. You give it your all. You're a
10
sprinter.
minutes. Yeah, I mean, how much longer are you going to go?
Yeah.
Maybe 20. I don't know about that even.
No.
You know,
I think if you drink enough, you can sustain a bit longer, but
yeah, are you doing fucking blow? Sorry. Lazy. Yeah, you're doing that. I just feel like, hey, is crime rising right now? I just keep seeing all these videos of people fucking each other.
drinking is rising. I know that I saw that there's a report that liver diseases have spiked in the last 3 months or something like that.
That makes total sense. But you know what you shouldn't do? I think maybe you should do or you shouldn't do. Yeah, see, killings in LA spiked dramatically, leaving families shattered, communities reeling. It's so awful. And it's true.
Well, the violence has gone up in Chicago and Minneapolis, especially where they're having issues where they're protesting the police. The police are standing back and going, okay, well, we're walking on eggshells here.
Yep.
And you're seeing crime spike in those areas.
It's in what? In
the areas where I think some of the protests were more prevalent and relevant.
Yeah. Are you saying black areas? Are you trying
I'm
to
saying
say I mean black neighborhoods?
I'm saying if you watch the New Edition miniseries, cities that have more ratings for the New Edition miniseries that came out on BET,
I just feel like
there's a correlation there.
I feel like you're saying African American communities are disproportionately affected by violent crime.
I don't say that. I say Democrats.
Look, dude.
Okay.
Just be upfront. The African American communities suffer more from violent crime. God damn it. Which I think is a fact, but I just think poor neighborhoods in general are. But like the mistake I make is and I don't know if this is a mistake or a good thing. I on Instagram follow like various people who teach real life scenario training.
Right.
Like Byron Rogers is this guy and they'll post these, they're like executive production stuff and survival and stuff. And they'll post real life video of like people getting like, mugged, murdered,
right.
All that stuff. And it is good to be, and they always say, like, if you ever talk to experts in self-defense,
right.
not like, not Kung Fu like you, but in other stuff, like they'll say situational awareness is everything. Your car can be the safest or the most dangerous place for you to be in. If you're stopped, you pull into a parking space, be ready, because that's where they hit you. That's where you get, but you see these real life situations and you start to think, first of all, I gotta take a class. Second of all, I gotta be ready. Third of all, I gotta have a gun on me at all times.
Yeah.
You can skew your reality.
Yeah, I think
I mean, a guy was with his family in LA a couple days ago, walking
downtown
his dog,
LA,
and got robbed.
You got to be ready. You got to be ready at any moment in time, and that's what I always preach to my students. Like Byron Rogers, I taught him for what?
What?
I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it. I'm not here to talk about my resume.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
You got to just be ready.
Yeah, you got to be ready. Be ready at all times.
You weren't ready for that.
No, you're not ready. Because you know why? Because I'm measuring your distance.
Didn't flinch.
I'm measuring distance, bro. The minute I sit next to a man, I go, can he reach me? There it is. Could you hit
stretch
me from here?
No.
Try you have to stay in the chair.
I have to stay in the chair?
Yeah, let's see if you could reach me.
If I can reach you?
Yeah.
If I like touch you?
Yeah, like
I have to stay in the chair. Ping.
Oh, you could sidekick me.
Ping.
If I lean into it.
Ping.
I got the Philly roll though. Yeah, I've measured that, so I'm not afraid. But the problem is being ready. What does that mean? If somebody comes out with a gun, be ready just to hand them your wallet.
Mm-hmm.
If you're carrying a gun and you see them stop and the door's open, you can pull your weapon and start shooting before they do.
Right.
But that's a tough way to live, man. And you might make a mistake. It might be a cell phone. Now you're really fucked.
I read this that in prison, if shit's going down, the best self-defense, this one guy was saying, is what do you think it is?
Take a shit and grab it and put it and smear it all over your body? Or just start throwing your own shit?
I swear to God, that's what he was saying.
Well, yeah. I mean, there was a guy who knew he was going to get raped, and he just covered himself in his own poo. And that's a decision. You want to walk around? I don't even like walking around with a dirty whistle. I got to clean that off. I can't imagine having to cover myself. I might have to just take one for the old team.
Yeah, I think the great actors can cry on cue, but a real man has got to be prepared to shit on cue
Yeah, I can't
for
do
self-defense
that.
reasons.
The last thing I want to do in a bad situation is shit. I'm not. That's really vulnerable. My everything stops, and I got to be ready.
If 6 guys come at me in an alley, I
Yeah.
always have 3 shots of wheatgrass ready. I'm going to pound those. I'm just going to go, boys, you want to dance?
You wanna
Because
dance?
this is a
Yeah,
different kind of
dance.
tango.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the best way to do it would be to be able to shoot your poo at them. Yeah.
Projectile?
Yeah. That's horrible. You would run the minute you got hit in the face with poo. You'd have to run to any sink anywhere. If there was crocodiles in a moat, I would jump in the fucking moat and take my chances. You understand me? And speaking of crocodiles, little trivia for you fucks. In raw sewage, a crocodile can get his arm ripped off by another crocodile and it won't get infected. They got
Well,
something.
how do you know this?
I just know everything.
How do you? Who's doing that
Crocodiles-
study? Who is doing that study?
Crocodiles have the
Who is sitting there
craziest.
going, let's put him in because he's angry, and I would just want to see if his arm gets torn off.
Alligators and
But
crocodiles,
put in
bro.
raw sewage though. I want to make sure he's not infected. Who does? What's
alligators
the
and-
culmination?
I don't know, bro, but alligators and crocodiles can be in the most fetid water. I don't even know if that's the word.
Will it grow
But
back? Will it grow back?
It does not grow
Reptiles?
back,
Okay.
but a lot of crocs, big males especially, lose their limbs in fights because the other croc will, you can see it on YouTube, will bite and just roll and just take that shit off. And the croc literally is just like, fuck. You don't see it in pain. It doesn't really do much. It's just like, fuck. I still got my mouth. And that's what they do.
Yeah.
So
I always remember
Probably
Bill
starve.
Crawford, our good friend Bill Crawford in Pittsburgh.
Good
He had
man.
that great joke about
love Bill.
when he shit his pants at his
Oh.
girlfriend's chair. He always said, he goes, it was the dumbest line, but it always made me laugh. He's like, you guys ever smell shit when it wasn't in the toilet? Like, it smells bad when it's not in water. It's like, yeah, Bill, it's fucking shit.
It smells so bad. It's so offensive. It's out of control. But yeah, it's a very good deterrent, I suppose.
It's the deterrent. That's why, again, the skunk is the king of the jungle. You don't fuck with a bad scent. You can't overcome that.
No, you run away.
Yeah.
Then again, your opponent may no longer have a sense of smell. Might have caught the corona and it never came back. Now what, motherfucker? My other buddy's a stuntman. He has no sense of smell since he had a head injury.
Really?
Yeah, so you can skunk him all day long. You get taken down, and you get grounded, and you get pounded.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Got
All
it.
right,
Okay.
then.
Well,
Now-
there's always an asterisk.
Always. There's always. Yeah, I don't know. There's different ways to there's different ways to keep an attacker at bay. I think a good way is just to have a badass fucking Rottweiler or German Shepherd or even a pit bull and just have that fucker on a leash. They're going to choose the next dude. You're not coming out to rob a guy who's got a dog like that. If it's a little shitty fluffy dog, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know, whatever. But you gotta, like, this homicide detective was saying, I guess he had investigated all kinds of home invasions. He said never, ever a home with a German Shepherd.
Really?
Never. It just doesn't happen. Why? You're gonna choose the next house. I don't know if that dog's gonna bite me, man.
Right.
I don't know if there's another dog. I don't know if he's gonna start barking and raise a racket. You know, unless you're a maniac, you're not doing that.
Well, we got cats.
Yeah, well, cats. Your cats are big though. You got Jags.
So I'm just hoping that you're allergic.
You
if
got
you break into my house.
Steve's got Jags. He's got Jags and leopards, and they're super friendly. But let me tell you something: if you got allergies,
That's right.
you're gonna sneeze your way the fuck out that house.
That's right. That's
You know?
why we got it. No, my daughter wanted one, but I always wanted a dog, but my wife won't let me have one. But I get it. I think that there's 2 deterrents to anybody. It's the or a loud bark,
Yeah,
and they're gone.
yeah. A good pistol grip shotgun, a 20
Or-
gauge.
I play My Last Hour special. And
Come
then
on, Steve. It wasn't that bad.
It was
What's your
okay.
favorite special? Because you have a funny fucking bit about this a long time ago of walking down the hallway in a hotel and hearing people having
Hearing people
sex.
bang? Yeah.
And-
I don't
and
know.
you'd be like, you need me. 'Cause
You
it
need
sou-
me?
Sounds like because it sounds like they need help,
Yeah.
right?
You need me? That was always Gardell's favorite line. yes. That was the joke. No. I was like, just once I want to hear a girl like right in the middle, like, maybe, perhaps.
Maybe,
No.
perhaps. And you're like, you need me?
You know me?
Yeah, what were you saying?
I don't know. What were you saying?
Well, I was going to ask you a question. What do you know now at 48?
46.
That you, at 46, so young. Fucking kid. You kid. What do you know now? Why am I older than all my friends?
39.
Than you did when you were 20. What do you wish you could, what would you say to yourself now if you, to 20-year-old Steve?
Oh, 20-year-old Steve?
Yeah.
Easy. I would say go home after 11:30 and go right. That's what I would tell myself.
Is
You
that
don't
right?
need to stay out till 6 a.m.
I know.
chasing the fucking dragon.
I know.
If
I
if
know.
she's not there around 1 or 2 and they're saying last call and you're pulling a Hail Mary
Yeah.
and nothing, just go home.
Go
There's
home.
no need to do this.
Go fucking
And write
home.
more. I would say write more for sure.
Really?
Yeah, not just like jokes, but I wish somebody would give me like Save the Cat or Joseph Campbell earlier in my career.
Is there something else you'd do though? Like, is there something else you would add to your daily routine, your regimen?
No.
I would meditate.
Meditate? Yeah.
Yeah, I would actually say to myself, I'd say, Bryan, learn how to actually meditate. And I'm still not doing it. Learn
It's hard to
learn the
do.
value of being able to observe yourself.
Right.
Observe your emotions, your desires, your fears, your anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to, in real time, get perspective on that,
Right.
I think.
Well, meditate, from what I've heard, it's the absence of everything, correct? You're just present in the moment and not accepting or receiving anything that you're hearing or thinking or whatever. Just
Well, that's
Is that
one
correct,
thing,
or-
but that's not. But I'm talking about like meditation can also be really helpful in how to manage your trappings, your
Right.
emotional and mental trappings, right? So what you do is like say again, I'm not a master at this, and I'm not even good at this, but what I do find helpful is like say you feel anger, okay? What you will do is learn how to just stop and interpret that as raw data. So what you'll do is you go, wow, I'm really angry.
Mhm.
And you go, my heart feels like it's heavy. My face is hot. You interpret the raw data of what's actually happening to your physicality.
right.
And you observe it. You get really interested in it.
Mhm.
You actually kind of step back and call it like it's a fight. You call it like, look what's happening to this person.
Mhm.
And when you observe it that way, you can get perspective on it. You can recognize it for what it is. And that will allow you to sort of you can give it a color, a shape,
Right.
and it's a way of stepping outside of that so that you're not being taken for a ride, you're watching it ride. That might be one way of saying it.
But if you're acknowledging anger, right,
Yeah.
while you're meditating, are you trying to dissipate the anger, or are you accepting the anger in the meditation? Are you alleviating
you're not
yourself of
trying
it,
to do
or
anything.
are you accepting it, embracing it, or
No, the problem you run into is when you try. So the problem is when you try to be active about it. So if you say, I'm doing this because I'm trying to manage my stress.
Right.
No, that's not, don't try to do anything. The big problem is trying to get rid of your stress, for example.
Right.
It's a really bad idea. So one way they teach you how to deal with stress is to say,
So don't take as long of a shower as I do.
don't take as long as a shower.
Okay.
And I think.
Did
in
you
the
see what I
shower-
did,
think
guys?
in the
When I
shower.
said I was in the shower, I was jerking off the shower. I'm explaining the
you
joke because I think they
fucker.
went fuck it. But
Yeah.
continue, please.
Because you're looking in the mirror and admiring yourself. Yeah, no, I'm saying like so one way of dealing with stress, they say, look, just repackage what's happening. Don't try to get rid of the stress. Go embrace it and go, whoa, this is what happens to my body when I'm ready for action. Like I can feel my heart beating and I feel more alive. You
Right.
can actually turn it from a negative into a positive, right?
Right.
A tool you can use as opposed to a knapsack that's crushing you. But there's another way of doing that, which is the idea that says, so I was in an argument recently. Well, not even recently, but the person was saying things and mischaracterizing what I was saying. And I found that their argument was not only something I disagreed with, I found it a little bit offensive, especially because they had a point of view on who I was, and they were judging me from my point of view, which was very unfair. And I also think they're wrong. And I think their ideas are dangerous. And I started getting really angry. And then I just took a second and I went, whoa, look at what you're doing here.
Right.
Well, look what I'm doing here. First of all, I'm so sure I'm right. And who says I'm right?
Right.
This is a story that I've embraced. This is a story that makes me feel safe and makes me feel right. And I have my data to prove it. But in the large scheme of things, I have a limited apparatus for perception anyway.
Right.
So let me just take a minute to see what's actually happening to me physically in this moment. What is this? And I started like looking at how my pulse was quickening, and I was getting hot physically.
Right.
And I was like more interested in winning this than, and it was really interesting because I was able to, in that moment, when I got the perspective of that and took a humorous sort of point of view on it, or at least just an objective point of view, I came back down into myself. I calmed down, and I was able to entertain their point of view, even though it was wrong in my opinion. But I was able to entertain their point of view, repeat their argument back to them, and we went from an argument to a discussion.
Right.
And that's very helpful because you in your life will always have one problem after another to solve. I don't give a fuck what you say. You will go from problem to problem, and you will go from desire to desire. That's the two of the larger realities of being a human being. You're gonna and accepting that, and working within that is.
It is fascinating when you're talking about how a discussion can affect your body. Like a fight, if you and I were to get heated and, at a bar, you bump into me, I bump into you, you start saying shit to me, I start saying shit to you, the blood will drain from my face and blood will instantly go to your muscles to prepare for combat. I just find it so fascinating, in the heat of battle, or you're talking, your heart rate spikes, whatever. Like, I think it's fascinating that our bodies are trained not to lie.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy? Like your heart rate will spike because you know you're lying. So you're
so
physiologically you're wired to not lie. You're physiologically wired to tell the truth.
Yes,
I think that's such a fascinating God-given attribute to humanity.
There's a neuroscientist, I think his name is Antonio Damasio, and he wrote Descartes' Error. I think, therefore I am. That was Descartes. And another book I read, I can't remember, but he talks about how intelligent emotions are. Emotions are your cognitive. And the first thing you know certain things before you think about them.
Right.
You have a disgust reflex. You smell something bad. You get embarrassed. You get afraid. You get angry. And that reflects a much deeper truth about who and what you are. It's why I found writing like a screenplay or anything fascinating, because, and even like writing a special, you start out writing a story, and what you don't realize is that it changes. The story will change. The theme of your stand-up will change. And what you realize is that, that's what's actually going on with me subconsciously. I am wrestling with the same question. What is a man? What is it to be a hero? What is it to be a coward? Whatever those, I'm always asking the same question. I'm always wrestling with the same problem that I've never put to bed and maybe never will. I mean, most writers are writing and dealing with the same kind of issues.
Yeah.
How do I come to terms with being just a regular guy? That sometimes that can be, that's a large part of a lot of men's issues. How do I come to terms with the fact that I'm just a regular fucking dude who's not done much yet, or and doesn't even know how to do much.
Right.
You know.
Well, emotional intelligence is a big part of anybody's life. I tell my kids, I instill it in them. I say, be aware, be cognizant. Antonio Damasio, a student of mine, I told him to.
What?
Shit, I did it again.
I didn't know that, dude. You teach a lot of people different stuff, man.
And I don't mean to.
You're a master. You're master.
I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it.
And you got a kitty cat on your fucking. Is that sweatshirt coming, men's? Fucking. Why don't we call this podcast? Huh? Fucking. Hey, everybody. It's
I
coming
think
at
we should
you live.
call the podcast "Pull the Bloody White Mouse from out between my legs."
What does that mean?
Is that too
man?
far?
Why are
See,
you
let me
wearing a
explain it to
mouse
you.
in your?
So it's a tampon and it's blood,
God
and so
damn it,
the
Steve.
tail of the mouse is in between my legs because I'm
You don't
having my
have
period.
you don't
That's the point of the joke. So I was explaining it to him.
You might identify as a female, but you ain't got him, John.
Excuse me?
Well, I don't know what I'm saying. Thanks a lot, Steve, for ruining it. You just made me clutch my own face.
Did I?
When
That says
was
a lot.
the last time you clutched your own face in horror?
This morning when you came out of the shower
Yeah.
and you said, "Steve, what do you want for breakfast?" I went,
Put that thing in a cage.
Ha.
Put that bad boy in a cage.
Does that come with a leash?
Get him back.
Ha?
Get him back in his holster.
Last time I saw something that big, there was a group of kids from our high school holding strings attached to it walking down Fifth Avenue at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's big.
That was a long setup.
That was a long setup, but a great one. Looks like a parade float. That what you trying to say? That thing's got all kinds of problems.
Last time I saw something that big, it ate plankton.
Oh,
Shorter.
whale. A whale. Hey, man, that thing having an allergic reaction, or is it really that thick?
Hey, I thought Ahab was hunting for that.
Whoa.
Ha.
What'd you do? Batter that thing about? Is it swollen? That thing ain't really like that, is it? It's got to be injured. What with all that swelling?
Oh my God, it's got a blowhole. Oh.
That's the noise it makes. Yeah. Sounds like you're fucking kitten.
I think when you pull your pants down, I would imagine a harp would. That's what I would hear.
No, man.
Yeah.
You just hear, I come from the land of the ice and snow.
I think when my pants come down, you hear a Nissan Maxima start.
Because that's all it is.
It's
Basically a reliable car.
It's reliable. It's
I do that
reliable.
joke where some woman was like, yeah, good body. I was like, well, don't go up. Don't go high up. That's how you describe a Honda.
You're in better shape than most people. I would say on average, most people, but certainly at your age.
You saw me with my shirt off.
Yeah, you're shredded.
I'm all right, dude. I work out.
I have the diet of an 8th grader. That's why
You sure do.
I've got to get it together. This coronavirus has done no favors.
Dude, last
for me.
night I was making this sick steak. And I go, you want a steak? And he goes, well, I'm getting pizza. I mean, with pizza? I was like, wow. Good pizza, by the way. Joe's Pizza.
Oh, phenomenal.
Fuck.
The best pizza in California.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
But, okay, I love that you said it's the best pizza in California. Hold on for a second. Hold on. I just got to do something.
Oh, no. What's so funny about that?
Oh, you haven't had Felix Pizza, Jolina's Pizza, Rose Cafe's Pizza?
I've had Joe's Pizza in the Village in New York City, and they have 2 out here in California, and that's the best
adorable.
New York style.
Yeah, it's adorable. That's the best pizza you can get delivered.
Please, you like taking your kids to Chuck E. Cheese because it's a double whammy. I get some shitty pizza and games.
Take that shit back right now. I'll take it to the fucking Rose Cafe now that they're open, or Felix, and we'll have some pizza there, and then let's have a conversation. Okay.
But you eat really healthy.
Yeah.
You were the first person I met in California that told me what juicing was. Like when you had this Japanese guy over at your place when you lived in your old house.
Filipino, but thank you.
No, he was like he had immaculate hair.
His name is Arnell.
Arnell?
Arnell
He's
Lindgren.
Filipino? I thought he was Japanese.
It was on the national speed skating team, and he's a stud. Yeah, and he's Filipino. He's not Japanese.
I would know the difference between a Filipino and a Japanese.
Well, he's been a friend of mine for 25 years. Let me say it again. It's Filipino.
Okay,
right?
so anybody out there, just know Asians can't tell the difference between Asians.
Oh no!
See what I did there
Steve.
was I was fuck it.
Steve, you're right.
He was over there and he was making a fresh pressed juice
Yes.
for you guys.
Yes, he
and
was.
you were like, you got to have this. It's healthy. I was like, what the fuck is that? I was from Pittsburgh, so it's just like
Yeah.
we put French fries in our sandwiches in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And I was like, you put that shit in a blender and you're gonna drink it? It was like, this is
It made no sense to you. Yeah.
no sense to me at all.
Yeah.
So I've never been in a gym.
No.
It just like that. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
In a blender, you're gonna put celery and kale and like, what is kale? Like,
well, he would make.
I didn't know what kale was until
he
I
would
hung
take
out
an
with you.
habanero pepper and then like sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
And then avocado and then a lettuce, like a cabbage leaf,
Mhm.
and then put some other shit in there and make you a meatless like lettuce cup burrito.
Yeah.
It's the best thing I've ever fucking had. You'd eat it and you'd be like, this is unfucking real.
Yeah.
Unreal. But then again, I don't think you should eat that many seeds. It's
Yeah.
just too much fat, man. You're gonna end up, after a while, you get to a certain age and you're like, I gotta cool it with the nut butters. The
I've
fucking
never-
nut butter.
I've
You know
never
when I
said
feel
that in my
amazing?
life.
When I eat
Have you said that to
grass-fed
yourself?
beef or fucking venison and greens.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I have some wine maybe at night. Good shit.
I'll tell you, the worst thing I've ever done as a steak lover is have Wagyu.
Because you're obsessed with it?
Obsessed with it.
Yes.
It's fucking amazing.
Yes.
I would drive my kids off a cliff to have Wagyu.
Well, can I give you?
Like, sorry, I got some Wagyu, or I got to take the kids are going over the Grand
Yeah.
Canyon. Where's the Wagyu?
Yeah.
It's that fucking good.
So I'm gonna change your life. Snake River Farms has a Wagyu. I don't know.
Is it as good as a Japanese
Bring up
Wagyu?
Snake River Farms. Let me see this, because they'll give you. They'll hit you.
Because I know
with-
there's like American Wagyu, and it's never as
Dude,
good.
this is in Colorado, I think, and it's so good. It's so good. Right there, you go. I put that up against anything. It's
because it's
stupid.
the marbleization, but so it's buttery.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Now I'm not a Wagyu guy
How can you not like Wagyu?
because I know how they make it,
How do they make it?
and I know I don't like anything that fatty because it's as delicious as it is, and it's ridiculously
It's
good.
unbelievable. It's
I mean,
the
that
greatest.
right there, look at that. Look at all that fat. It's really, really, really good, especially if you prepare it the right way. It's just that I don't like eating an animal that's been essentially, kept.
Given a spa day?
It's given a spa day. It doesn't move. It basically doesn't move. In fact, the way I think they do Kobe beef is they don't even let them stand. They have them suspended. They rub them down with
Really?
beer. It's weird. They massage the bodies of the cat. I mean, I don't like it. And they feed them a certain way so that they marble the meat. You gotta really.
Jesus Christ, the
so-
way you're talking, I bet Ralphie May was delicious. I should have been the first at his house with a steak and knife and just char him up.
Well, if you're gonna eat something,
Come on,
there
player.
should be a
Come
lot.
eat some,
There should be a
Steve.
lot of fat.
Yeah.
But that fucking so that's not how an animal, like when you go to venison, watch the difference in when you go to an animal that's been living just on grass and grazing.
Yeah.
There's no fat in the meat. There's no fat. It's
Yeah,
as
who wants
it's as
that?
lean as it gets, right? So you can see the venison a lot of times.
Yeah, there's
Look
no
at
fat.
that right there.
It's just red
It's
meat.
just red meat. It's just
so you got to
muscle.
season the hell out of it
Yeah, I mean,
for it
but
to have
personally,
any taste.
yeah, and-
Wagyu is bountiful in taste. You don't even
No,
need the
it's
salt
ridiculous.
and pepper Wagyu.
yeah. But let me explain something to you. all
Please
right?
do.
Here's what I do.
Yes,
And
I'm ready.
It's true you need fat. If you want a sick steak, like I'll take a pasture-raised, grass-fed steak and a ribeye, which has got some fat to it, and I rub salt, pepper, and dehydrated garlic flakes on it. I let it sit for 2-3 hours. Then I take my Traeger grill. I put it up to 225.
Can I just
I'll
tell you
put-
something real quick? You're
Yeah.
talking like that 20-year-old girl in a coffee shop right now. You're elevated your speech
Yeah.
to a higher tone, and you're louder,
Yeah.
and you're letting all of us know we're less of a man than you.
Yeah, well,
in
I'm-
this moment, that's what you're doing.
Well-
I'm just letting you know.
Well, that's correct because that's 100% correct because I'm lecturing you.
I will salt and pepper the steak. I will rub it with dehydrated garlic.
Yeah.
I will
Well,
that's what
school's
you're-
in session, right? School's in
School's
session.
in session,
And the
yes.
professor's talking.
Okay.
And this isn't a democracy. Right now, it's kingship. Right now,
All right.
it's monarchy. Right?
Okay. Thank you, Saved by the Bell. Here we go.
It's my way of asserting dominance over both you guys because I'm telling you how to make a steak. And I have a strong point of view on it. And so you're right. And so guilty is fucking charged.
Is that a bone-in?
It's a callback when he was at it. Fuck it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to cut you off.
And it's okay. And I put it on the Traeger for maybe a half hour.
Yeah.
Shame on me, by the way. Should have been 25 minutes the other day. And then I take it out and I get a little avocado oil and I in a cast iron pot, I get that fucking stupid hot, bro. I get it fucking stupid hot. And I'm going to say this. Jack. I get that pan, and I never say this. I get that pan fucking hell hot. Okay? I get
Hold
it.
on. If you were a chef, could you get the chef? I'd like to thank him for this. How was your steak? It was great. Yeah, it was fucking great. I got hot.
Ask me,
What the
say,
fucking-
chef, how hot should I get my skillet? Go
Hey,
ahead.
Chef C, how hot should I get my skillet?
Hell hot. Hell hot. Then say this. Then ask me, but chef, what does that mean?
But chef, what does that mean?
Take the center of the sun and turn it up. And turn it up. Okay? Now.
And play Buster's Poindexter's Hot, Hot, Hot.
Yeah. Now that oil isn't even going to be bubbling. It's just going to be waving.
Yeah.
All right? It's going to be waving. And then I take that steak that's been smoked, that's been seasoned, that's been sitting around patiently. And I drop it right on that skillet, and you're gonna hear some noise. Yeah, you're gonna hear some noise. You're gonna hear some hissing. You're gonna hear the demons sing. You're gonna hear the demons sing, okay? Because some singeing's going on. And I'm gonna leave it on there for, some people leave it on there for 2 minutes. I might leave it on there for 1.5 minutes, depending on how you want your steak. Then I'm gonna flip it another 1.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna let it. And you're gonna be like, "Can I eat it now, Bryan, chef?" And then I'm gonna take a flat hand to your cheeks. It's not gonna hurt, but it's gonna wake you up. Yeah. I'm gonna paintbrush you. So my flat hand, my palm's gonna crash against your left side, and then I'm gonna bring my hand back, and my knuckles are gonna come cascading down across the other side of your face. That's called a paintbrush.
Yeah.
That's called the Tom Sawyer. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna Tom Sawyer your fucking visage, and then we're gonna wait 10 minutes for the center of that thing to be about. Well, you know what? I was about to give up my secret, so I'm not gonna do that because this isn't a fucking cooking show. You want a steak like that? You figure out how to become my friend. Good luck, because you're not my friend unless you own a jet. Okay, because I don't like flying commercially.
I remember when I
need
first
more
moved to LA,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go have lunch with Callen." They go, "Oh, the Sizzler Kid,"
Yeah.
and that's where it came
Yeah.
from, the Sizzler Kid.
Nah, that's because I bring heat on stage and in bed and in the ring. This guy's on fire. That's all you hear. This motherfucker's hotter than the center of the sun. That's what you hear. This motherfucker's hotter than the center of the sun. Oh, there go my eyelashes and eyebrows. Fucker singes everything off you. Yeah. You know, I wear t-shirts that say "not too close." You know what I'm saying? I'm like a siren. I'm like a fire siren. You know what the sirens are? Let's test your fucking your Homer.
I remember I went to the comedy club last time with you, and they said, "Bryan, when do you want the light?" You go, "The smoke alarm will go off when I'm done."
You goddamn right, buddy. I'm the Ace Frehley of fucking comedy. 'Cause his strings started to smoke. Steve, do you understand what they say? What's a siren song? What's the sirens called?
Please tell me.
Got to know these things, okay? Because the sirens, Anthony, you know who the sirens were? No, but I'm glad you asked. So obviously nobody in this fucking room knows. From the Iliad, from the Odyssey, when Odysseus,
Oh, yeah.
he was told what?
Well, you see, this is what you did. You went, oh yeah. Like he knows.
Well,
now that you did
Well, I
that,
know
now
what-
you're committed to say what you know.
I know what the sirens are.
he knows the context, right? The sirens were these beautiful women on an island that would sing, and the sailors would hear their voices, and they were so beautiful that they would jump overboard and swim.
Death is looming.
They would swim toward the island, but
Yeah.
they would drown.
Yeah.
Because the island probably wasn't there, or it was just too far away. And that sound, their singing was so beautiful. So Odysseus was told to stuff up his ears as the ship passed the Sirens Island.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, dude. I dealt with the same thing
The
with
point
the
is-
Miami Sound Machine.
I know. You mean Gloria Estefan? Yeah, she was amazing.
That's what the Lighthouse, the movie The Lighthouse was based on that, right?
I don't know. I didn't
With
see
Willem
that.
Dafoe.
Oh, maybe because that
I
is.
saw it. That was a trivia
You want to
movie.
avoid that that siren's call, and there are a lot of sirens calls out there. It's like Bryan's so hot, I want to get close to him, but get burned because well, you might think the sun's beautiful, but like Pegasus when he was flying toward the sun because he was obsessed with the sun. I think it was Perseus who was on Pegasus. I know my fucking Greek mythology. What happened when Pegasus got too close to the sun, Steve? The wax on his feathers melted, and the horse fell to the ground and perished. And we're back, guys, and we're back. Sometimes you need a moment, huh? Sometimes you need a moment. I recommend, all these people ask me what to read. If you want to educate yourself, do me a favor and just get the Greek myths, Greek mythology. Get it under your belt. Get it under your belt because it will inform most of the world around you to this day. And then if you want to get crazy, read Homer, read the Iliad and the Odyssey. And then if you want to get crazier, read the Bible. Read the Old Testament and the New Testament. I'm just talking about the books that had profound influence on the civilization that you live in today, regardless of where you are, anywhere you are. And then read, obviously, Aristotle and Socrates and Plato. You know this, the Greeks, the three Greeks. Then you can get into Seneca and all the rest of them. But start there, and you will have a profound understanding or a recognition of many of the philosophies, sayings, points of view, and general mental framework that the world comes at you with. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah. And there's The Far Side, Calvin and Hobbes. There's those two. I mean,
All
if you just
based on
looking
fucking
for
the Iliad.
distractions. But
Yeah. And Calvin and Hobbes.
well, I
are
learned a
great.
lot today.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. How
There's
to
gonna
cook
be
a
a lot.
steak.
There'll be a lot of quizzes.
You're going to slap my face after I eat the steak?
I'm Tom Sawyer.
Because
your
it's so
face.
good?
I'm
Yeah.
giving the old Tom Sawyer. I'm gonna paintbrush your
Tom
face.
Sawyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who wrote Tom Sawyer? Anybody in this room?
Tom Sawyer.
Okay.
Thank you. Mark Twain.
Oh.
Mark Twain's real
Yeah,
name? Samuel Clemens.
That's right.
A lot of literature going on in this fucking room.
On one half of the room, yes.
Yeah. I'm older. I'm the old guy. So my job is to educate and all the people in this room. I love you, Steve. Steve, are those Adidas?
Adidas, yes.
I've never seen shoes like that.
Yeah.
That's a what kind of blue is that? Is that a lapis?
This is
blue?
called a teal. So you buy
Teal.
these at any gift shop in Arizona, I believe.
Those are teal.
That's
Now,
where
are
you
those
get this.
are those cross trainers, bro? What are those? Casual?
Yeah, I don't know. They're $75.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they're just walk around shoes.
Yeah.
I like them.
Thank you.
I've always admired, and I've told you this many times, and I'll always tell you this. I've always admired the length of bone you enjoy in your femur. You've got long legs.
That's something somebody says as they approach you with a saw. I mean, that's not something you hear every day.
No, and you have good shoulders. You look like an athlete. I think you were athletic, right?
Thank you.
Were you an athlete?
Yeah. I played hockey, yeah.
But you didn't give a fuck that much. You would have
No.
been better if you gave more of a fuck, right? I think.
I didn't have size. I never had weight. I was probably a $145.
Really?
in high school
Me too.
and junior high
Me
and
too.
all that stuff.
I was
And
a bitch.
I was 5'5" until I think like my senior years when I went. Pew.
Really?
I had a growth spurt my senior year and into college. Yeah.
I've always been 6'4". Kids, I'm glad you're with us on the Big and Hungry podcast. I enjoy this a lot, and I missed you. Steve lives in Nashville. What's that? Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe us. Subscribe to us. I've never said that. Let them do it on their own. Come see me.
I'll say it.
Come see me. I think Nashville's already sold out.
Is it?
Yeah.
Beauty.
But by the time everybody hears this, Nashville will be done. So let me do this again. Come see me in Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach. A Funny Bone. Have you done the Virginia Beach Funny Bone?
Yeah. That was the last club. I was the last person to do it before they shut down.
I've never done it.
It's great.
I bet.
Great club.
Really? I can't
Awesome
wait.
club. Great staff.
I got the Virginia Beach Comedy Zone, and that would be February 18, 19, 20. And then I got Jacksonville Comedy Zone, March 4, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got Omaha, Nebraska, March 11th. That would be the Funny Bone. March 11, 12, 13.
Very nice.
Yeah. You're going to be in Austin at the Vulcan
I'll
Gas
be
Company?
at the Atlanta Punchline first weekend of March, and then the second weekend I'll be at the Vulcan Gas Company. Yeah, just
Nice.
Friday, Saturday, I think 19th, 20th. So I'll be in
Wow, you
Austin.
headlining there and all that?
Yeah, I can get you a tape
What's
over to them.
what? I'd like that. What's the capacity over there?
No clue. I've never been there before.
Yeah.
But I like the Atlanta Punchline because it's like a diner.
Never
So
done it.
it's no,
No,
it's great.
it
I
is.
love it. It's a great room. It's like a throwback room.
Who owns that place?
Oh God, I forget.
I love Atlanta.
Chris DePetto.
Atlanta's good. Atlanta's good. All right, and there it is, kids. So we got those are my dates. God bless, Steve. Another Big and Hungry.
Another Big and Hungry.
I know we need a fucking.
We'll get it.
We're getting something here. Don't worry about that. We're getting. This is a little bland right now. Our set. We're gonna make it.
It's
gonna
coming
make it
there.
a lot cooler. We're just starting,
So,
man.
we
Everybody
just
calm
started.
down.
God damn it. Yeah, fuck.
All right, man. God bless. Bye. Let's do an intro too. Welcome to the Big and Hungry podcast. I'm Bryan Callen. You can come see me at Virginia Beach at the Funny Bone in Virginia Beach.
Hold on a second. Do the dates, but since this will be at the beginning, just
Yeah.
make sure you say subscribe, rate, and review on Apple, Spotify, anywhere you get podcasts. Make sure you say subscribe to Bryan Callen's YouTube, all that stuff, just so we can get this in the beginning.
Okay.
Got it?
Well, here's another episode of the Big and Hungry podcast. Make
That's
sure
right.
you like and subscribe and
Rate and review.
subscribe to my YouTube channel, Bryan Callen. And then and I think you have. Do you have a YouTube channel yet? Oh,
No, I'm on yours.
One. Oh, you're on mine. Yeah, me and Steve.
I'm here now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here we are. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to be starting February 18, 19, 20. I'm at the Virginia Beach Funny Bone. And then March 4, 5, and 6, I'm at Jacksonville at the Comedy Zone. And as if that isn't enough, March 11, 12, 13, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska at the Funny Bone. Don't stop, won't stop, can't stop. Okay? How about
Yes.
you, Steve?
I will be at the
Yeah,
Atlanta
right.
Punchline first week of March.
Ooh.
And the second weekend of March, I'll be at the Vulcan Gas Company in Austin, Texas.
Oh, I'm jealous. I love Austin. Yeah. Yeah. We should have called this podcast the. What's the name of your podcast? How do you spell that? You fucking don't. You don't spell it. And then me going, yeah. I feel good.
French or Japanese?
I had a fucking flight attendant. We landed, and I swear to God, and I can't remember this, but I'm going to say Atlanta. You just heard when the wheels touched, the guy gets on the intercom and goes, "Ah, yeah." You hear that? You hear that? That's what Atlanta sounds like. I was like, Jesus Christ.
And that's what an Amber Alert sounds like.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I know. Oh yeah. That's what Atlanta feels like. Or that's what Atlanta sounds like. Something like that. All right, guys.
All right.
Let's rock and roll.